congratulations on a hell of a job, a hell of a win. Okay? That's a hell of a job. Okay? Look, it didn't start off great. It didn't start off the way we wanted it to start off. Okay? But we just kept freaking swinging. And that's what you have to do in this league, because you know what? It ain't easy. This is hard. All right? There's never been one of them that I've won that's been easy. They've all been hard. All right? That's why you just got to keep swinging. Keep swinging. And look, offense, hell of a job, man. God dang. You know what I mean? Like, hell of a job. Hell of a job by the whole team, coaching staff, everybody finishing this last stretch out strong. Now, look, here's the deal. Okay? We're waiting to see what happens in a couple of these games this afternoon. All right? Tampa won this afternoon. They won 9-0. All right? So Tampa won. All right? So now we're paying attention to what's happening in Chicago, Green Bay. All right? And then Seattle, Arizona. All right? Seattle and Green Bay lose, we're in. Okay? Either one of those teams wins, we're out. But listen, we made the bed we lay in. You with me? We made the bed we lay in. All right? And I told you this. We don't control anything that happens in any of these other games. All we control is what we do. All right? So, proud of you. Hell of a job. Let's handle all our business the right way. Okay? Well, that was a hell of a win. I'm proud of you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Phenomenal, dominant performance. That's our identity, and that's how we move forward. That's who we are. You don't accept nothing less. You got to know who you are. Remember when we talk about speaking to that storm, when winds come, that's distractions trying to tell you that you're something else. You got to have clarity in who you are. And speaking through this storm, what I'm telling you is you walk on top of your storm. You walk on top of it. So it don't matter what happens, it's all in your favor. Either the storm gonna move and we're gonna be where we're supposed to be, or it's not gonna move, it's gonna feel some type of way, but it's in your favor because the storm is designed to grow your faith. No doubt. So it's all purposeful. We always winners. We never lose. That's right. You can't beat it. Let's go, man. I love y'all. Hey, family on three, family on me. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Wow. That was insane, man. It's insane looking at it because you almost don't believe anything that they're saying. You know, you don't believe what's going on. You don't understand why this is happening, why it happened. It doesn't matter, man. But guess what? New season, man. We out of the playoff. What's up, lifers, man? It's your boy, Tremendo, a.k.a. Austin Jackson. We coming to you with my first official episode of the season, man. We recapping the Saints today. I don't even want to talk about the Saints, man. It's just a really disappointing thing to talk about. Very, very confused at why things ended the way they ended. It's just hard to understand where we are at this point in life, why we do the things we do. And this was really one of the more, I'm not going to say it was as bad as 2011. That was a terrible time to be a Saints fan, just knowing you ran the table. It was disappointing, kind of like the no call, knowing we gonna win the Super Bowl. You know, this year it's like they hyped you up to be excited about the season and about the team, and I blame the social media team, man. Y'all really put together great ideas and great exciting things to look forward to, because we were, as y'all said, one quarterback away. And it was clear to see during the season that we had other issues. Obviously, it came down to one game, which I'm going to speak about in depth. The fact of the matter is, I don't quite understand why we do the things we do as a team. But regardless, my Saints, we go 9-8. We don't make the playoffs. It comes down to the last week where we slaughter the Falcons like we always do. And then the Bucks just could barely beat the Panthers. Like, you know, 2 touchdowns were called back on the Panthers. They couldn't get their left foot right in front of the other foot. And they beat them and they won and they got in. And it really came down to the fact that we still had a chance to make the playoffs. It kind of was like a microcosm of our season in general. You know, it's like we still have a chance, but yet we shot ourselves in the foot and let destiny go to other teams. And this became an issue, obviously, with Green Bay winning. They got in instead of us, which is ironic because Green Bay, I don't even want to get all crazy about it, but Green Bay clearly, that was the game that really kind of just put us at a bad place. So, recapping the season for what it is, we went down to Tennessee and we started the season on a bang. Obviously, when you think about the season, we got Derek Carr. We was one quarterback away from getting Derek Carr. We was one, I'd say, quarterback away from winning the championship. That's how they put it. We already had a solid defense. We had talent. Michael Thomas was coming back. We knew AK would be suspended. He was suspended for, I think, 3 or 4 games. And then, we started the season in Tennessee. Me looking at the season and looking at the stats now, I can't trust the stats because a lot of the passing yards that we accumulated were in garbage time. It was when we were gunning for a comeback. It wasn't because we were naturally winning. So we win 16-15 at Tennessee. I'm extremely excited, especially with the go route down the sideline to Shaheed. I'm like, yes, we need to do more of that. Then we go to Carolina, and that's when I knew Carolina was going to be terrible because they had a new quarterback, new staff, owner going crazy, fired the coach, new coach, whatever. And even with that game, we won 20-17. It wasn't great, but I'm still giving them credit because, Dennis and them are telling me that, hey, it's going to take some time. So I'm like, all right, y'all got y'all time. I'm not going to trip. The game that really kind of showed me the type of team we were was in Green Bay, because it wasn't about the fact that we lost the game. It was how we lost the game. The defense, you can arguably say dominated the game, period. I mean, we come out, Jimmy Graham gets his first touchdown, I believe. And they can't stop us in the red zone because we got Jimmy. Shaheed returns a punt for a touchdown. It's 14-0. Then Blake comes, and what's he do? He hits a field goal. It's 17-0 at halftime, and I'm saying we going 3-0. I'm like, this crazy because it's going to set us up for the rest of the year. And I'm excited. I'm extremely excited about it. But at the end of the day, we let them hang around and do not blame the defense. You can't blame the defense. I'm going to tell you why you can't blame the defense later, but you can't blame the defense because for the most part, they played their part, man. I mean, what do you want them to do? We lost the game 18-17. They hit a field goal and I think scored 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. I mean, that's 2 touchdowns. We were already up 2 touchdowns and a field goal at the half. So the fact that we're up by that, I'm thinking, okay, ball game. I think we intercepted him also. He couldn't get, I think the first play of the second half, he intercepted him. So, I'll just go ahead and be more accurate, but I believe that's how it went. I believe he threw an interception on the first play of the second half. Yeah, punt return, touchdown, punt, in the half. First drive, he throws an interception that was supposed to be for Dobbs, and it's intercepted by Lonnie Johnson. And then we proceed to not score or move the ball and do very weird things for the next 2 straight quarters. And DA gets in there and talks about how our defense let him off the hook. Or, I don't know. I'm not going to paraphrase what he said, but, to me, that's not what you say, considering the facts that the defense played lights out. They didn't give up anything until the fourth quarter. But at that point, we're on the field forever. We 17-point win, 17-point lead. We should be winning the game, period. I don't care. 17 points, 7 more points, 20, 24-0 or 24-7, and we scored 7 more. It's 31. I mean, at that point, I realized that the offense as it was with Pete Carmichael or Dennis Allen calling the plays, whoever's scheming this, wasn't going to be that great because it didn't seem like it was a talent issue. It seemed like it was a situation where guys didn't have – I just feel like people weren't in the right place at all. They weren't where they needed to be. They didn't know where they needed to go. And these things were frustrating considering the fact that we could start the year 3-0. Instead, we start 2-1, and we lose another game the next week to Tampa Bay, 26-9, and that becomes a situation where we kick 3 field goals. We can't move the ball. You know, Kamara comes back for no reason. Then we turn around and respond to New England, and we beat the daylights out of them like we should, because we're supposed to beat teams that suck like that. So we could have easily been 5-1. 4-1 at that point. When you sitting at 4-1, everything else is, you know, you have a lead. You're not going to lose many more. And if you do, you have a better chance. But instead of being that, we're 3-2. And at that point, we still were ahead in the division. We still were ahead. When we were 5-4, we still were ahead. You know, after Tampa Bay jumped out and they were in front of us in the division, we still had a chance to win. We still had a chance to take the division, but yet we go down, we lose to Houston. Awful game. Jacksonville comes in and beats the shit out of us. We beat the hell out of Indianapolis like we're supposed to. We beat Chicago. Then we lose to Minnesota, Atlanta, and Detroit. That ended the season because we were in the driver's seat. I don't even want to talk about beating Carolina and New York and Tampa Bay and Atlanta because what? Those games suck. I mean, against garbage teams, you can almost count. We were almost undefeated. But with the real teams that matter, I think we was like 1-5. You know, we lose to Green Bay, who are in the playoffs. We lose to Tampa, who's in the playoffs. We lost to Houston in the playoffs. Jacksonville just missed it. We lost to Minnesota. We lost to Detroit. We lost to the Rams, who took our spot. They didn't start too bright. So just looking that over, knowing that part of the season was there, it was just disappointing. And I believe that we lost the season in the Packers game because it clearly came down to one game. It came down. So with that being said, you know, I really feel like, you know, we still had a chance to win. But looking at some of the issues this year, I think a lot of the issues were communication, and I think that could be a coaching problem. You know, God forbid Chase Daniel spin the block and say, it's not Derek Carr's fault. Drew, come here. Come here, Drew. Come here. Tell him it's not Derek Carr's fault. See, it's not Derek Carr's fault. And now we're starting to see, even at the end of the season, we're starting to see a lot of media take the side of the coaches versus the players because Jameis, you know, he kind of stirred the pot. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is we still had a lot of issues. We had a lot of issues with coaching. We had a lot of issues where we just weren't running the team the right way with so many superstars that could really get it popping. It wasn't going the way we thought it would go. Okay. Obviously, you can't look at the fact that our quarterback play was terrible. You know, our quarterback play wasn't great. Derek Carr, you know, I never wanted Derek Carr. I wanted Aaron Rodgers. I thought Aaron Rodgers was the guy that we needed. I thought he understood, you know, how to win. I thought he was in the position to win. I thought that, you know, let me see. I'm gonna look up the tweet so y'all can see this. I want y'all to see it. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. Because I really just Aaron Rodgers gone, Zimmer out, Stafford gone, the North free now. Maybe this was a bad idea. Can't find it. But I remember vividly saying, I didn't want Derek Carr. I wasn't excited about Derek Carr. And it is what it is, you know. I can't find it. I don't even want to see. Oh, here it is. I said it on Facebook. Okay. I'm going to send it here so everybody can see. I didn't want him. I don't know anything about Derek Carr. I just know that when we played Derek Carr, we beat the shit out the Raiders. He didn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer for that defense. He didn't have an answer for the 2022 defense. He didn't. I'm going to show y'all right now. What that say? This is December 5th, 2021. This is when Sean Payton's leaving. Okay, obviously, clearly we didn't make the playoffs. And we got a lot of tough decisions to make. I think this was Dennis Allen's first year. We got a lot of tough decisions to make, but QB is all that matters. We're going to get Aaron Rodgers. How crazy am I to think we're going to get Aaron Rodgers? How crazy am I to think that? I thought we was getting Aaron Rodgers. I thought that was the best person at the time. So, therefore, y'all can exclude me from any Derek Carr hype. I never wanted Derek Carr. I thought he could play. I just didn't think he was the right quarterback for us. I felt like we needed somebody who was proven, somebody who really can play, who really doesn't turn the ball over, considering the fact that we have a great defense. He's not going to throw interceptions. You got a cat ain't going to throw interceptions and your defense crazy, and they ain't never getting the ball back. You feel me? So I think it was the leadership. It was poor leadership from the quarterback position. It is what it is. Well, you don't play football. How could you say this? Well, listen, I've been on teams my whole life. I know true leaders and I know suckers. I'm not saying he's a sucker, but, considering how his brother was acting, it was kind of strange that he, took this Joker-like approach or something. It's just I never believed in him. So I didn't like the quarterback play from the jump. Okay. Tell Chase Daniels to shut the hell up. Okay, just tell him shut up. Tell him be quiet. Okay, all this foolishness. I'm not going to your Patreon. Okay, maybe we'll meet one day and talk about it, but not today. Last issue that I believe was one of the biggest issues was our non-existent pass rush. Very, very non-existent. I it's something you didn't see. It's something, I don't know why I wasn't there. Cam Jordan, you could say, hey, is he mortal now? Is he washed? That's what I see. Cam washed. Man, Cam garbage. Man, Cam this, Cam that. And I'm like, man, y'all slaughtering Cam, dog. Cam, I still think got it. I still think he got a lot to play for. I still think he got a lot of ability. I think he had a down season, and sometimes you have down seasons. It's about freaking time. He never missed a game. Damn near. He got injured this year. That slowed him down. But I'll be honest with you. He might have had 6 sacks that he missed. 7, probably. I probably seen 5. I think Cam's still him. They just extended him. Hey, we'll see what happens, but I know for sure, we got guys like Carl Granderson, dog. He a big dog. You dig? He did his thing. I appreciate him for rushing the quarterback like that and making life hell for those guys. Breesy or Brise, however y'all want to pronounce it. I like his mindset, but I do think we need maybe more depth or a couple dogs at that position. Some bigger maulers, some cats that's going to wreak havoc up the middle. And I'm hoping that we could generate more of a pass rush to help our young guys on defense because we're about to change the team a lot. Another issue that I felt popped up randomly was fan backlash. One of the most confusing things I've ever seen in my life. How are you mad at the fans? You mad at the fans? And I put on Twitter, then I find this one too. I put on Twitter that we support the team 5 to 6 times before we even get to the arena. And it's true. I think we do support these teams. One thing I said is we support who they pick, they as in the team, and we never have a say in these things. Teams have all the players, coaches, management handpicked, and the team performs the same way or worse. Then what? The team shouldn't use booing as motivation because that's weird. It is weird. It's strange because I don't understand the Saints booing fans' motivation. It's motivation to be the better team. Y'all should want to win anyway. I don't understand why you're mad at the fans. When we come to the game, it's a lot of things that we're doing before we get to the game. I put on Twitter that, we're supporting the team. We're buying all the freaking jerseys. We got to eat when we get to the game. And I'm going to break it down for you. There's a lot of ways that we support the team before we even get to the arena. Okay. On December 19th, I'm looking at the facts. Okay. The fact of the matter is the fans have spoken. I said, we got jerseys, Jerseys ain't under 150. That's what I found out. Tickets $60,000 to $20,000. You know what I'm saying? Parking $60. Food $15 to $50. Don't even talk about beer. Twitter fingers, and then we're on Twitter and we're talking about the team. We're defending the team in public. Listen, okay? We're doing a lot before we get to the game to support a team. And then we get to the game and you look at a game like the Tampa Bay game and it's 26-9. We're 3 of 3 on the day in field goals. Why should we be excited about that? Excuse me. Why should we be excited about that? If you go to McDonald's and you get your food, or you go anywhere, any restaurant, and you get your food, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to say, there's no way I'm eating cold food. My fries cold. This greasy, this bland. Y'all sending it right back. That's like booing. You get your car from the dealership, you drive it, that bitch start knocking. That bitch knocking. You bringing it back. You're not going to be like, you know what, I should support this. No, I want a better car, period. And it goes, no pun intended. It goes like that. That's how it should go, okay? Don't get mad at the fans. The fans have always supported teams. Now, when fans don't buy tickets and don't arrive to the stadium, that's a different story. If you want any more information about that story, go to Charlotte and figure that out, because they'll sell out games. And I'm not even going to talk about the Hornets experience. I'm going to leave that alone, all right? Okay, so like I said, I'm going to give out some MVPs right now because I'm ranting. My MVP of the season is the defense. It's the defense, okay? My MVP of the season is the defense. I feel like the defense played lights out. I feel like the defense, which ended in, I believe they ended in, and I can tell you right now, the defense ended 13th in total yards. That doesn't even tell the story. We played terrible quarterbacks, obviously, but the defense did what they needed to do. I think, obviously, when we played better quarterbacks like Matt Stafford, he didn't have a problem against our defense. We lose 30-22, but at the same time, I think if our offense is competent, they're not going to beat us. Teams with better quarterbacks won't beat us. We're going to beat them because our defense is better than most defenses. I'm going to say it's better than 75% of the defenses in the league, and that's all it really takes. So I'm going to give lights out to my guys, especially guys like that stepped up, Alontae Taylor. I'm glad they put Zach Bond at in because he seems better at that position, which I think he should be on the right side. That's just me. But like I said, I was really, really enthused with that. I was enthused with the way the defense played, considering the fact that they got thrown under the bus every week. Very strange information, very strange energy, but that's the MVP for me. For the team, least valuable player, LVP, offense. Jesus, man, I'm a Saints fan. Y'all not about to talk to me about offense. The last thing we were gonna do, or the first thing that we were gonna do, the last thing we was gonna complain about was the offense. We could score with anybody. That's what we know. Don't get me started about that 2011 team with no defense. Jesus, that was the worst loss I've ever experienced, period. It was worse to me than the Minnesota Miracle and the no call. It was worse because we was slaughtering nobody was gonna stop us. Okay, that being said, we're gonna keep it moving. I believe that I'm gonna give an offensive MVP to somebody who made the Pro Bowl. I believe that he did extremely well. Rashid Shaheed. I mean, the dude played lights out. And when you look at the fact that his all-purpose yards, I think were like 1,600. I don't want to mess this up. Y'all be tripping. Shaheed had, I don't remember what he had. I think it was 1,300. Shaheed is looking at total all-purpose yards. He had 719 receiving yards. And then obviously with his kick return yards, He had 384, so he had almost 1,100 yards. That's not even including his Jesus. He had 600 total kickoffs, punts. So that's 600 and 700. So you're looking at about 1,300 total yards, 6 touchdowns, I think. And obviously, I don't even have to analyze it like this. I don't like analyzing. I just like looking at the facts. Shaheed was pretty much Derek Carr's safety blanket. You know, if he was going to make a bigger play, Olave made a lot of plays, but obviously he got injured. Shaheed was the guy who caught a couple go routes. He caught the big touchdown in the Colts game. That was a blessing, you know, and I think that the future's bright with guys like that. And obviously Olave, he's a dog too. Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna be honest with you. My defensive MVP is as steady as it goes. You know, Tyrann Mathieu. Listen, y'all gonna talk about stats all day. I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about easy does it. Let's get it popping. Quiet leader. I'm not even gonna say quiet. I wouldn't even consider him a quiet leader. I think he's somebody that really brings together the team. He's the glue that holds it together. Yeah, Demario might be the leader. He might be the unquestioned leader of the defense, you know, saying prayers every week and that's going to come off a certain way. But nah, for real, like praying for the team and being that emotional leader that you need. But what I'm saying is it's going to sound a certain way, though. I just mean, you know, I think the steadiness of Tyrann Mathieu, I think the way he goes about his business, the way he leads. I mean, he's a safety blanket. I would have to look up how many big plays he actually was responsible for, but I don't know. Based on the eye test, I can't remember that many, except the crossing route to Christian Kirk that went. I think he may have took the bad angle on that one. But God, the dude had a pick 6. He had 2 picks in one game, and then he had a pick he had a pick 5 in the Falcons game. So, like I said, it ain't no big deal. Honorable mention, Grando. He a big dog. Grando a big dog. It's his coming out party, and I believe that he did extremely well considering the facts. I think that it's going to be his line soon, and they're grooming him for that. So shout out to Carl Grandison. Honorable mentions, Demario Davis and Grandison. Yeah, Davis is who he is. The biggest surprise for me was Cam. You know, it was like, you know, you start to get caught up in the fact that, hey, you're not really sure if he is who he is anymore. You hope that he is that guy. You hope that he still could give you that oomph at his age. And shout out to Calais Campbell for being an Iron Man and still playing in the league. I still think Cam has a lot left, like I said before. And just to cap things off, you know, I got to really be honest about something. I got to give some superlatives and some love to Jameis Winston, man. You know, a lot of people, including Shannon Sharp and all of these people, are talking about the fact that they feel that Jameis Winston did a disservice to his team. DA lost the locker room a long time ago. And Jameis should have never went above the coach to do this. And I don't agree. I think that, you know, we're not going to the playoffs. I think everybody understands that we're not going to go. I think before the game was over, we realized we weren't going to win the division. And you got a guy like Jamal Williams, who was clearly some type of leader on the Lions emotionally. He was, I don't know if he ran for 1,000 yards, but when you get 20, I think, was it 20? I don't know. Somebody correct me. It was 20, 17 or 21 touchdowns in the red zone, clearly. That means a lot. You know, for you to have that many touchdowns, you kind of get used to scoring. So that was insane. I thought it was a good pickup to compliment, but sometimes I would see the plays we were running, and I don't think that they really matched his skill set based on what I saw. You know, to me, he a guy that's going to run down the middle, knock your block off. He violent, you know, it's going to complement the game. And obviously it played into the hands of what we're used to as Saints fans. When you have Deuce McAllister, Reggie Bush, you know, you throw in a Pierre Thomas here and there, Mike Bell, you know what I'm saying? In that way. So kudos to Jameis. I think that might get him out of here. You know, I'm sure DA is probably going to fight to get the locker room back, but I don't know if you're going to if you cut Jameis, that's the way to go. I just don't know. I mean, at this point, I understand it could be a distraction, but what are we distracted? We're at home. It don't matter. Leave Jameis alone. Last but not least, we got to really, really think about this fact of Dennis Allen. You know, before I go, I really need to give love to my team, man. I really got to give love to the fact that they hung in there. They were fighters. I mean, Dennis Allen team, clearly, they're going to fight you to the last second. They're going to fight and claw and, as they say, scratch and claw and all this and that. But the question is Dennis Allen a bad coach? My answer is no, he's not a bad coach. Is he a bad head coach? Yes, 100%. And I know it probably eats him alive because I know he's a competitor, you know. But based on what I see, just what you put on the field, you've never been a winner as a head coach. You've had a great defense under Sean Payton, an offensive mind. Great pairing. I could see him going to Denver. I could see that, but he's not going to go there. He's not going to go there. He's not going to do that again. I think he really wants to win. I think he's a good coach. Obviously, I'm going to have to support him going forward. I don't have to, but I'm going to choose to support DA as long as the players do, you know. I believe that our roster is older, so I'm sure they're going to gut the roster. I don't know if they're going to keep Michael Thomas. Maybe they trade him for picks to a team who needs somebody who can be a possession receiver. I think he's more than that at this point in his career still. I'm not about to say Michael Thomas is washed because when the ball goes his way, he catches it. Period. Is he getting the same separation? I don't know. I'm not a skills analyst. I'm not an analytics guy. I don't know. This is just what I see. One of my favorite players in the league, Marshawn Lattimore, you a big dog. If we let you go, it's going to suck. Do we have people behind you that could play well? Sure. Can they play like you? Nah. Because you like that. You really like that. I'm not saying y'all ain't like that. I'm just saying he like that. That boy different. He different, man. So one thing that I really need to put in bold letters to Dennis is you got to be careful what you're doing as a coach, where you're walking as a leader, because free agents are going to know the truth. So if we're trying to get free agents in the building and they see what a mess we have, where the coach isn't respected, I understand your actions, it's not going to be a good season. If Derek Carr could get in there and play like he played in the last games against better competition, where he's not pressing and throwing the ball all over the field, throwing multiple pick sixes, forcing interceptions, and listen, Drew Brees pressed too. Everybody watched that Tampa Bay game. Everybody saw it, okay? Everybody knows that that was a terrible game too, with another talented team that could have won the championship. But yet, we didn't. And we are here now. So, like I said, you don't blame the Saints fans for being upset, and I don't blame the team for being mad at the fans. I just look at it as the fact of y'all don't have a choice. The fans are here to support y'all. We should win. And hopefully, in the next couple months, we get a clearer version of what this team's going to be. We will. Especially going into March, we'll know, because we'll start seeing that guys leave. The incredible Jimmy Graham, he may be gone. Older players might get cut. I couldn't see him cutting Cam Jordan, but it could happen, you know. So, like I said, this was not a great season for us. Very, very disappointing. But at the same time, you know, everything's everything on the other side. As you can see, I decided to do it with my Pelicans background because we slaughtering the league right now, and I see a team with a coach who's willing to adapt to his players, at least for now, and a team with a coach who's not afraid to show that he don't know everything. I need help. Let me adapt. Let me learn. Shout out to my Pelicans, and shout out to everybody on the Saints. Shout out to all my fans and my supporters. You can find me online at PaperBagBoys.life. You can find me on YouTube at School of Life. Okay, I'm going to put the links everywhere for y'all to find them. And Instagram, PaperBagBoys.life. TikTok, PaperBagBoys. I appreciate everybody for supporting me. This is my Saints recap. Hopefully y'all will catch me again, probably around the time of the draft. I don't do these all the time. I just talk shit all day. You know what it is. And just remember, always do you regardless. Always. That's life. Peace.
Snap, placement, hit by Hartley.